Good morning, my gorgeous friends on the internet. How you guys doing today? I have a special announcement for you guys. Me and Maxine are working on a full stack React course with GraphQL. All the exciting technology that you can imagine is going to be thrown together, and we're going to build out an amazing e-commerce website. Now, I'm going to give you a release date when this course is coming out, because that means I have to work harder in case I don't meet the deadline. So, to be announced. But I have other courses that you can check out right now. So go over to developbyed.com, check out the React course. It's going to be a great introduction to get you up and going and get you ready for a full stack course. So click the link below there and we're good to go. But in today's episode, I want us to get a bit warmed up. So I think we're gonna build, I know we're gonna build out, unless this is a dream, we're gonna build out a blog website using a headless CMS. I'm gonna go into what that is in case you don't know. But there's not gonna be any choppings of beheadings. Oh, we shouldn't say that, that's demonetization. Anyway, let's transition into the video. Outro music activate. Hello, so let's get started. So the first thing that we're gonna need is a headless CMS. Now what is that? I like to imagine it as WordPress, like something that pretty much everyone can do that knows how to operate the computer. They can log in to whether it's WordPress or GraphCMS, and they can, let's say we're building out the blog, right? So they have like a very user-friendly UI where they can add a name, they can add a title, and they can add the text. They hit save and boom, the blog post magically appears on the website. So that's what a headless CMS does. You configure it, you can figure what kind of data you want, and then it spits out either a REST API or a GraphQL. So we're gonna hook that up so it does that, and then what we're gonna do now is basically define how our data is gonna look like. So again, you can use it for an e-commerce website, right? If you wanna add products, you can do blog, any other stuff pretty much. So we're gonna use GraphCMS for this one just because it's so easy and they host it for you so you don't have to deploy it like Strapi. I built the same project out in Strapi, but it's not as nice, I feel like. So we're gonna use GraphCMS. So that we're going to use, and on the front end, we're going to use Next.js. So I'm going to break everything down very easily. So go over to GraphCMS, hit graph started, get started, and then we're going to log into our account right here. I had the terms and service. Why you do this to me? I might have logged in with GitHub, but let's just go with it now. Okay, so there we go. So just log in. We're gonna skip this overview. I already have a project, but just click on the blank one here to create a new project. We're gonna name this anything. Let's do bloggy, we're gonna call this, and the product description is gonna be a blog website. Cool, and then we're gonna choose a location. I'm gonna choose one that's close to me, and then we're gonna hit create. All right, so that's step one. And I'm gonna show you literally what this does. It's gonna be so nice. If you've never used one of these before, I think you're gonna be quite excited. All right, so we're gonna use free forever. It has plenty of stuff in here, especially if you do something simple like a blog. You can do 1 million API calls. Where does it say 100 gigabytes of asset traffic? Yeah, it's gonna be fine. So just use this one. We're gonna skip this. You can also invite people there. And there we go. So here we are. So again, what we need to do is define what kind of data we have, right? Because again, at the end, we're gonna have a nice UI where we can just type in our data. But I mean, what do I type in if I don't know how my schema looks like? So let's hit set up your schema. Here we go. So what we're gonna do is click on create a model here. So what do I want? Well, basically I want two types of models. What do we need basically for a blog? Well, we need our blog posts, right? So that looks in a certain way, and we also need authors, and that looks a certain way. Now you can add more stuff. You can do comments, you can do categories, but we're gonna keep this simple because I wanna make it nice and fast and easy to understand. So I'm just gonna call this post here, right? So plural posts, everything's gonna autocomplete here. You can add a description, we don't need that. Click on create. Boom, that's it. So now what does my post look like? Well, I can add all of these different data points here. So I want a title, so I'm gonna click single line text here. All right, I'm gonna call this title. just like that. And you also get some optional values here, like use as title field and allow multiple values and all of these different stuff here. So let's see here. Let's go to validations. You can also do this. I'm going to make the field required. We can also set a limit of characters, like how long our title should be. I'm going to just say at least, let's say between at least 5 and 50, right? Or 60, something like that. That looks good. We can go over to advanced, read, write, that's fine. And let's also go back here. Did I put unique? I did that. And yeah, that should be it. So hit create and boom, there we go. We have our title added. We can do a slug as well. So let's go down and search for that. Slug. All right, this is going to be basically a URL friendly identifier. So rather than having like slash, so our website slash post slash an ID, we're going to have our actual title formatted nicely. So why svelte is cool or something, right? Like that. All right, so that's kind of the idea with the slug here. So I'm going to call this slug just like that. I'm going to make sure it's required, so make field required, set field as unique, and ooh, what did I do? Oh, let me cancel that. Let me do it again because it had like a specific validation there. So let's call it slug again. Validations, there we go, make field required, and that's gonna be it for that one. So boom, up, enter an API ID. What is that? Let me see here. I forgot already. Just say slug. I think it auto-completed beforehand. That's very strange. And what we can also do here is generate slug from template, right? So here I can just do title like that. I can add curly braces and title. And then in our UI, it's automatically going to recognize what we add in the title, and it's automatically going to generate rather than manually doing it by hand. You're going to see this in just a bit. All right, so that's it for this one. Hit create. Lovely. Next up, what we want is a photo, right? So I'm going to go over down here and I'm going to go asset picker. I'm going to call this cover photo, just like that. Let's see what else we need for this one. I'm just going to make the field required because you don't want people to post blog posts without any pictures, any cover pictures. That's going to look very weird. So we'll add that. Next up, we want our actual content. So for that, we can use rich text right here. So let's click on that. I'm going to just call this content. Cool. Let's go over to validations. Also make this field required. And that's it. Create. All right. So look how easy you can make up a little schema here for you to use. And next up, we're going to have author, but we're going to make a relationship between those two. So we're going to need to make another one for that to work. So last but not least, let's add also a calendar here, just so we can display like when the blog post was published. So I'm going to say date published like that. All right, so people can add this as well if they want. Let's make this required as well and create. Cool, and that's it. So we have our little schema here. Now take a look. I just want to show this off. So schema done. Now we can go to content here and look at that. I can click on post here, create a new entry, and look at that. It recognizes everything that we added. So cover photo, our content, date published. So it's a very UI friendly little thing here. You can pass it to anyone and everyone's going to be able to figure this out. So let's try this out. So I'm going to say why svelte, not svelte. Let's do the world of web development in 2022. Cool. So now take a look at this. Now that we added the title and the curly brackets, we can just hit generate and it's going to automatically generate the slug for us. We can also add a picture here, so I can upload something really quickly. Let's do this one. There we go, upload, and that's that. Nice. And then here you can have your rich text content. So I can add a heading if I want to. Let's call this The World of Web Development. Cool. Now I'm going to replace this with the other GraphQL soon. I just want to show you can add your content any way you want here. All nice. But yeah, you have access to images, assets, a bunch of stuff here. Really cool. Let's just add some random text right now. All right, that's our content. Put the date published here. Let's upload it today and hit save and publish. Save and publish, and boom, our content is now live. So if we go to content, there it is. Amazing. And next up, what we're gonna do is create our offer. So click here, and we're gonna go over to offer, and then the first thing, let's call this offer like that. Hit create model. We're gonna need three things actually. I'm gonna add, actually we can just do two things. A name, so I'm gonna say name, like that. Let's go to validations, make field required, and set field as unique. We don't want two people with the same name. I guess you could make username. I guess you could have people with the same name, but anyway. And finally, what I want to do is create an avatar. So that's going to be another image. So let's call this avatar. Again, make field required, and that should be it. Now, what I want to do is also create a relationship, right? Because one offer can have a lot of different blog posts. So maybe in your API, you want to get all the blog posts from one certain person. So you can do that too. Awesome. You can go over to reference here. So let's click that. And let's see, which one did I pick here? Allow only one model to be referenced. I mean, you could do this one if you want to do different models as well. But for now, I only have post. So I'm going to hit post. And let's see here. We're gonna make we can make a two-way reference. So basically you can query from a blog post, you can query the author, but from the author, you can also get the blog post. So it's gonna work both ways. It's gonna basically hook it up both ways. So how do I want this? Basically, I want this to be one to many. So basically one author can have multiple posts, right? As you can see by the card, that's one little guy, lots of different text blog posts, and that's it. So allow multiple posts per offer. Exactly, that's what we want. Cool, and that's it. So hit continue there. And that's it, continue again. Yeah, that's fine, and hit create. Amazing, so done. So as you can see, that's what we have. We have posts here. Now, if we go to post, it automatically hooked up the author as well. So now take a look. If I go over here and create a new post, a new offer. So let's go over to content, go author, create a new offer. I'm going to call this myself. Let's pick an avatar. I think it uses the Google ones already or something, but you can upload your own. Oh, sorry, here I had to hit add existing post. So there we go, I hooked it up now. So that post belongs to this offer now. All right, and then hit save and publish. Cool. All right, there we go. So now, see, this offer has one post. And again, if you make a new post, you can just add the offer there. So hit new post, add an existing offer. This one, I only have one, so it's gonna do this one by default. Cool. And that's it. So make a bunch of them. I'm going to show you what I have here on my other one. Let's go here to this one. There we go. All right, so same things. And I just added a bunch of content here. I have two offers and a bunch of blog posts I made. All right. Amazing. So you just created your API. So how can you use it? Well, we can go over here to API Playground, and you can just make a simple query. So just say query, curly brackets, and then request any data that you made. If you want post, you just write post, curly brackets, and then whatever you want to pull out. So maybe the title. Hit play. Look at that. We get all of our blog posts. Maybe I want the content from here. So just write content. No, that might not be it actually. I think it's somewhere deeper down, but we can say, let's try something else. Date published, right? And hit play. And there we go. Look, our date published is right there. I think content has multiple formats. So you need to do content, curly brackets, and you can do HTML if you want to retrieve it that way. Yeah, because you can do Markdown and other stuff here as well. So we're going to use HTML. It's fine. So there we go. Amazing. All right. One more thing we need though is our little API key. So I believe it's in settings here. You can go over to API access and it's this first one here. Don't use mine. I'm going to delete it. Don't be lazy. Go here and register your own. Sucker. Okay. And that's it. And if you don't have the content permissions here, make sure you have it like this. Read all models and it's published. Okay. You can create it here. You want to make sure to be able to read from all the models. And that's it. Cool. Amazing. So let's start implementing it in the front end. So what we're going to do is use Next.js. I forgot how to install it, so give me a second. I'll look it up now. Next.js. Where's the npm command? Excuse me. npm. They should put it on the front page. Ah, I thought it was here. Where's the npm? I think it's npm create next app. I might be wrong. You should make this easier for us. Here we go. Yeah. npx create next app at latest. That's what it's called. So, and then we give it the name, right? npx create latest, and then we'll call this bloggeroo. Here we go. All right, and then we wait for this to install. Again, the benefits of Next.js are we get routing all set up. We have SEO. We can use SSG, which is statically generated pages. I have a video on it if you don't know what CSR is, client side, server side, and SSG. Check out why I don't use why I don't use Create React App. I think that's what it's called, the video. It's a bit of a clickbait. I know the title should have been different, but the grades got lots of views. So. Okay, so we're going to cd into this one, and then I'm going to say code dot to open it up here. And there we go. Here we go. Here we go. We got everything set up, and then we can run npm run dev to get this up and running. And it's going to make a localhost 3000. Cool. So there we go. Amazing. I clicked it 10 times. I think we need to install a package or two. Yeah, let's install a package. I believe it's just npm install GraphQL we need, just so we're not going to do fetch. GraphCMS doesn't work with fetch anyway, but this is going to be nice and clean and easy. So GraphQL request. All right, I believe that's all we need. So let's install those two. Cool, and then we can run npm run dev again. Lovely. So I'm gonna post this code on GitHub. It is on GitHub. I'm gonna send you the link for it. Because I'm just gonna do the styles here. I'm gonna copy paste those over just because it's gonna take so long to write them out. So styles are gonna be included. Copy over the styles folder. And then we can continue. So let's just write out the code for now. So let's go to pages, index.js here. We're going to clean everything up, nice and dandy. So let's go here. I'll make this smaller so you can see. Just get rid of everything in here. We're going to keep the head in there. So again, it looks just like, it is React. If you've never worked in it before, it's not going to be anything crazy. I'm going to keep the main tag here. and just get rid of the footer for now. And that's it. So let's get rid of this footer and hit save. Okay, so we're left with the head here, which is used for SEO purposes, right? You can add your SEO. Then we have our main and a style CSS. Cool. So let's go here. And what I want to do is let's do the API request, okay? So I'm gonna import from GraphQL request. We're gonna import the GraphQL client and the GQL, that's what it's called. Okay, so outside here, we're gonna say const graph CMS is equal to new GraphQL client. And what we wanna do in here is pass in this little API endpoint here. Okay, so just pass that in, hit save. And that's that. And now what we can do is create a query. So like in fetch, right? You would, I guess it wouldn't work the same way. You want to specify here, we're just basically going to make a variable and use GQL here and then backticks. And basically you add what data you want to pull out from here. That's it. So I'm going to add curly braces and I'm going to say, I want to pull out posts, right? And then the data that I want to get. So I want to get the ID, the title, date published. Again, you can create your query here in the playground and just copy paste that pretty much, and it's going to work the same way. Slug, all right, I want the content, which is HTML. And then after this, I also want to get the author. So author, I want to get the name of the author, the avatar, basically the URL from here. So I'm going to add another curly bracket. Okay, cool. So after this, go down 1, 2 curly brackets. I'm also going to pull out the cover photo, the published at, created by here. I can get the ID from here. And then I don't even think I used this, but let's just add it. I'm going to pull out the URL and that's it. Cool. Amazing. Yeah, I don't think I'm even using this. I think it's hidden in here. You have to go and publish that. Let me see real quick. I don't even think you do, but anyway. So there we go. So just pull out a bunch of crap from our API and then we can use it. Now, you could use like create the state, right? Let's say posts and use posts. Sorry, should you do it up here? Right, this is probably how you do it in React normally. Const post and set post and set this equal to use state and then pass in maybe an array, right? And then use effect. So when the component mounts, then you would do the fetching of this, right? But that's client-side rendered. So what we want to do is use something in Next called use static props. And that's basically a function that's going to allow us to do an API request. And after we do the API request, Next.js is going to generate us static pages, static HTML pages. So it's going to read the data. And then when we upload the website on GitHub or Vercel or whatever, it's going to take every little file. It's going to take every little blog post and generate a file for it. So it's going to be super fast. So when people visit your website, they're not going to make any requests to your API anymore. It's all generated already. So that's the super big advantage of it. Again, more on that in the other video. So what we can do here is we have our export home here, right? Which is our home page. Again, Next.js treats home as the home page. Above here, we can make another function called export async function get static props, like that. And here, what we're going to do is make the API call. So I want to pull out the posts. I'm going to say await graph CMS request, and I'm going to pass in this query here. So what I want to pull out from it. And that's it. That's kind of our fetch request here. We pass in what we want to pull out. Pretty nice, isn't it? So now what I want to do is return here props posts. All right, so from get static props, you always want to return something here in props because this gets passed down to our home component. All right, so we can work with our data. We can add it here and display it on the screen. All right, so this is always going to return some kind of data here in props. And that's it. Another thing that we can do, since these are statically generated, well, that means if I add more content here in GraphQL and GraphCMS, well, the content's already generated, right? So, I mean, it's not going to regenerate. It's going to be static content. So another option that you have here is called something revalidate. Now, I think it does it on its own now, but you can specify, like if a user visits your website, regenerate those static pages in case it gets updated. So you can do revalidate. You can pass in a number here, like every 10 seconds or so. Cool. So now when you visit the website, if there's new content, it's going to generate the new files as well. And that's it. Really simple. Now, down here in our main tag, we're going to make this super quick. We can have access to our posts in here. So let's pull it in. Posts. And down here, we can say posts.map. We can do a loop over it. We have access to each individual post. I'm going to add parentheses here, and I want to output a blog card. Like that. Cool. So we don't have this, but that's all right. And we can pass in a bunch of stuff, like post.title. We can pass in offer, which is going to be post.offer. Cover photo, basically everything that I have up there. Post.cover photo. There we go. A key as well. Post.id. Date published. Post.date published. You get the spiel. It's the same thing over and over again. Post.slug. I believe that's the last one. Let's take a look. Yeah, that should be it. Cool. So now we're passing down data in this block card, but we don't have access to that. So let's quickly just go here and make a new folder called components. And in this, I'm going to make a new file called blogcard.js. Perfect. So here I'm going to say function blog post, like that. We're going to pull in the data here, title, offer, cover photo, date published, slug. Did I miss anything? I think that's it. Curly brackets, open the sucker up. And in here, what I want to do is return some kind of JSX, as always. And here we can also add export like that. Export default function. Cool. So just gonna make a div here with a class name of styles. Let's do like this, styles.card, because we're gonna create a styles for this as well. So Next.js has modules already pre-made, already functional in it. So I can just do blockcard.module.css. And what modules are, it basically means that it's scoped to this specific file. So I can just do a H1 here, and it's not going to affect any other H1s from other components. Okay, what was I on about? Oh, and eventually we're also going to link somewhere to another page, right? So we're going to also import link from next link. All right, it has a built-in navigation. So I'm going to make a link here. That. And in this link, I'm going to add a div with a class name of styles.imageContainer. And in here, we're going to have our image tag. So I'm going to say image. Now, Next also has an image component, but I'm not going to go too deep into it now. I'm just gonna say source cover photo dot URL. That's how we can pull that out. Let me make this smaller so you can see. Cool, do things even work here? I'm not sure. Oh, import use effect not working. Okay, we're not using use effect, so let's get rid of this. Boom. Okay, post.map is not working. Let's see what's up with that. I honestly have no idea, but hopefully we can figure it out. Ugh, why you do this to me? Why you do this? Let's see what can be wrong here. Oh, we need to import our component here. Let's import block card. I named this blog post, but anyway, blog card save. Do you work now? Oh no! Created by is not defined. Yeah, I'm not sure what I added here, so let's just get rid of this. Publish that URL. Okay, mess something up. Let's go to the playground. So posts. All right, so we should have offer content. Does that work? That works. Let me get rid of this. Cover photo. Is the URL in here? Hit save. Okay, the URL is in there. Cover photo URL. That should work. There we go. Now get rid of that error. Simplified it anyway. Styles.card is not defined. Okay, so let's go over and see what that is. Okay, so we're using styles, but I mean, it's not here. So let's import styles from. I'll just navigate over to our styles folder and say blog card dot, what is it called? Module.css. That should fix it. Oh my god, leave me alone. Link is not, okay, link, this needs a href. Okay, so where do we want to navigate? Well, we're gonna say here, we're gonna navigate, let's do /posts/ and we're gonna do our slug here, plus slug, right? Cool. Okay, so basically it takes the title and it divides it nicely. All right, cool. So, hey, look, our blog posts are here. At least the images. It looks terrible, but it's all right because we don't have any CSS added, but it works. We're requesting data, finally. All right, so let's add the other stuff as well. So link. So after the link, we're gonna do another div, add a class name of styles.text to this. Add a h2 here, we're gonna call it title. And then let's do another div. And we're gonna call this class name styles.details. Again, you can format and add the content any way you like. Now that you have the data, it's quite simple. This is the way I did it. Styles.offer we're gonna add here. And let's do image. And this is going to be our avatar here. So offer.avatar.url. And hopefully, there we go. That works. Amazing. Cool. And then let's also add the offer name below here. So h3 offer.name. Hit save. And let's also get the date here. Now, where is it? Down here. Another div with the class name of styles.date. It adds it like this. Son of a gun. Styles.date. And then let's do a h3 and call this date published. And that's it. There we go. That's our date right there. Cool. And that's it. Amazing. So now what we can do is Let me just copy over some of the style. All right, so I'm just quickly gonna copy over some of the CSS from the finished one. Again, it's gonna be on the internet. It's called Digital Scribbles on my GitHub. I'm gonna link it to it. So just the block card here. I think I have some for global styles, and Next.js you can go over to global CSS. I believe the file's already there by default. Yeah, here it is. So I'm gonna just add that as well. And then we have a home here. So I'm gonna name that as well. Oh, it's here already, so let's just add that. And I got lazy here, you could say. Let's quickly get rid of the evidence. Hit save, okay. And then there's one for the slug as well. What is this? Ah, okay, this is gonna be another file, so let's not worry about that for now. Okay, so I'm using a font here that I did not add. Let's just get rid of it. I don't need it now. Where is it? This is how you can add fonts, by the way. In Next, you can do import URL from Google Fonts. And this is how you do a local file. Yeah, gonna get rid of it. Peace. Gonna get rid of this font as well. I had a nav as well, but it is what it is. What's wrong now? I can't believe it. What are you not happy about? The nav? Because I don't have a nav? That shouldn't affect it though. Oh, this isn't global, so it should be fine. Okay, I guess I'll be right back. Here it is. Small little error. I called it style, not class name. Oh my god. Surprised I found it this quickly, to be honest. This would have taken me an hour. Yay, it works. Look at that. There it is. There it is. Something's messed up here though, a little bit. So I'll be back again. Okay, there we go, fixed it. I used the image component in Next in the final code, so you can see that, but for this one I just switched up the image here. And there we go, look at that, we have our content already, and nice, lovely. Now let's see if the slug thing works here. So in the index, where is it? In the block card, sorry, we're going over to post plus slug. So when I click one of these, look at that, post / 10 reasons I deserve McDonald's, okay? But there's no page loaded here. So how do we navigate different pages in Next? It's quite simple, actually. You can go here to pages and you just make a new file. So if I make a new file called, let's say about page, about.js, right? Export default function about, like that. All right, and then I'll return a div that says about page. And that's all you need to do. So now when I go over to /about, it doesn't work. Ah, sorry, I named it uppercase about, right? It goes over to the about page. Lovely, blah, 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 add random text, there it is. All right, cool. But the thing is, I'm gonna delete this. I want this to be the pages that we're loading up is going to be dynamic, so it's all going to be different. So how do we go there? Well, in pages, I can make a folder called about, like that. Not about. What do I have with about? Called posts, right? So now when we go over to posts, it's going to go to that link. So if I had a file here called, again, just to illustrate this a lot, article, right? Call this article.js. All right, export default function article, like that. Return a div article, right? So now that I created the folder, we go /post /article, and there it is. Cool. But if I want to make this dynamic, then what we can do is say curly bracket, square brackets, slug.js, like that, and now it's all dynamic. How cool is that? That's all you need to do. And now what I can do here is I'm pretty much going to copy a bunch of stuff over. So let's go over to block card, go to the top, and just copy over, sorry, not here, go to the index, this whole query thing, and just from here, the graph CMS, all the way, even this get static props. Let's copy everything over from here to here. Okay, hit save, and then we'll remove stuff that we don't need. So let's get rid of the head. We're gonna change this to styles slug.module.js. I'm gonna create that quickly. New file, slug.module.css. Let's close everything up here, all the CSS files. Okay, we're gonna keep this GraphQL. We're gonna get rid of this block card. So we're gonna keep our query here. We're gonna update it a little bit. So what I'm gonna say is, I want to query, let's just get rid of this. I think it's going to be a bit easier to see. Actually, no, we don't. Yeah, let's do it. What I'm going to say here is say query, post, all right, so one individual one, and then I can do $slug string, like that. And I can say post where the slug equals to the slug, like that. All right, and that's gonna query us. Again, I don't want to get too deep into GraphQL, but that's essentially going to query us the specific post that the slug matches. All right, so again, I can pull out everything that we did so far, like the title, slug, date published, the author with the ID, the name, the avatar, the URL, and then down here, the content with the HTML, and then the cover photo with the ID and URL, and that's it. Cool. So that's our data. And what I also want to do is create a new query called Slug List. So we're going to say GQL again, and I want to basically query the posts. Oh, the format. Posts, and just take out the slug from there. So basically I want to get all the slugs, all the blog post slugs. Why? Because we have dynamic content here. So it's not like here where we're fetching the data and then generating out the page for it. Because this is one page, right? The one that we see here. I cannot go there because of the style CSS module not found. I think I need to restart this quickly. Okay, so let me tell you what's going on now. Okay, so this page that you see here with all the data, right? This is one page that gets generated by Next.js. So on our home page, right, where we do our fetching here and all of this good jazz, we're fetching all of this good jazz. And when we upload it, it's going to generate out this page and we're done. However, in this case, if we go inside, we need to tell Next how to generate these pages because our titles and everything here are dynamic. So we're going to use something called getStaticPaths. So let's go over here and write it out. Export async function getStaticPaths. All right. And here, basically, you want to say, hey, these are the specific paths that we want to use. McDonald's, all right, that's going to be a path. Whatever else I have on this page. Let me see. Jamstack with Next.js, Jamstack with Next. All right, so you're basically telling Next.js, hey, these are all the paths that need to be generated. And the way we can get these is, again, we can just make a GraphQL query here. So we can say const posts equals await graph cms.request, and we can just pass in the slug list. And then we're returning all of our paths. So what we can do is do a post.map. We can map over it like this. And then here we can pass in the params. Slug is going to be the post.slug. All right, that's how you do it. And that's that. And then you can also have a fallback, which basically defines, hey, what do you want to happen in case there's no page if they go somewhere else. And then you can choose either to throw in a 404 error or maybe a custom page that you want. Lots of options there, but we're going to keep it nice and simple. Okay, cool. Now what I want to do is, now that we have this and we generate out all the static paths, I can create that get static props again. So export async function get static props. Oh, we have it down here, my bad. We copied it over. All right, so here we're gonna do the same thing. But what I can do here is pass in the slug. So I can actually pull this info out, not from the URL, basically from get static paths. So what we can do here in the get static props, I can add params, right? This params that we're using here. Because remember, these are getting all generated on the backend on the server, so we don't have access to this URL. So then that's why we have to define it here in the backend, because this is going to do a request on the backend, find all the params that are available, and then we're passing into the get static props to use it. So I can pull out the slug from here saying params.slug like that, and that's it. And here when I do the request, I can do comma slug like that. All right. And I can pull out the individual post now, data.post like that. And here for the props, I can just pass in post as in singular. And what am I doing here? Oh, let's modify this to data like that. So data.post. Amazing. So now we can do export default function blog post. We can add post here. Again, we have it available from get static props, and then it's all about writing out our blog post. So it's going to be super simple. We're going to just add a main tag here with a class name of styles.blog. And in here, we're going to have the image called styles.cover. There we go. Oh, sorry, the source, I added source, post.coverphoto.url, and then we're gonna have our class name as well in here, which is gonna be styles.cover. Cool, and you can add the alt, maybe a title or something. That's all fine and dandy. Now let's add a div here with the class name of styles.title. And in here, an image. We're going to say source, post.offer.avatar.url. Amazing. And then in here, we're going to also add another div with a not styles, but class name equals to styles.off text. Like that, have a h6 by post.offer.name. So we're going to pull out the name, and we can also add the date as well. We can say, let's add the class name of styles.date to this, and we can just say post.date published and hit save. Cool. So I think that's it. Under here, we'll just add the post title. Again, format it any way you want. This is just my random stuff here. But we also want the, let's see, that doesn't work. Okay, import styles doesn't work. Why not? It says module not found. I might need a restart. Run dev. No. Oh, might be the location. Might be another .. here. Let's see, does that work? Yeah, it does. Hey, there we go. So here's our little thing. We have the date, we have everything, but we don't have the content. So to get the content, very simple. We can just do a div here, add a class name of styles.content. And what we can do here is say dangerously set inner HTML. It's not dangerous, but it is what it is. Double curly brackets, double underscore, HTML. React is so weird. Post content HTML. Okay, so this is how you pull out. This is how you basically tell React, hey, don't actually put out the H3s as text, actually format them with HTML. All right, and look at that. So it actually formats everything with ULs and images and everything. So that's really cool. Awesome. So that's it. Let me just add the styling over from here. So slug, I'll copy this over. Again, you're going to have the finished code up there to see. Paste it here. And look at that. It's all nice and dandy. This is not nice and dandy. The image is too big for some reason. Let's go back here. And you can also add the nav bar here if you want to go back. But yeah, everything else works nice and dandy. Let's see why this doesn't work. Something's not okay here. Off details, image. Maybe I messed up the text here. So let's check out the pages, post, slug. No, that seems fine. Oh, it doesn't have a class name, does it? Did I even add a class name to this? No, I never. Styles off details. Huh. Where is it? Yeah, the image is messing up. Anyway, that's kind of it. That's the idea of it. I'm gonna fix that. And yeah, hope you enjoyed this episode. That's how you make it. And then from here, just easily upload it to Vercel. Login. This lets you basically just pick your GitHub link and it's all done. So just hit new project and you can import it from your Git repository. It's going to generate it out and boom, look how fast it is. Let me show you. Visit. So if I do a little refresh here, again, it's not going to make any API requests or anything, but really fast. I did look at that. Boom. Boom. See, that's the power of statically generated websites. Anyway, that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you next time.